What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new rework for URGOT that has just hit yesterday. You've probably already seen it, honestly. Like, you might have seen it yourself, you might have read it yourself, but I want to go over it because I think he actually could be like a really good AD carry at lower ranks, especially in bronze. And nobody has really talked about this so far. Like, nobody really paid that much attention, I guess. Like, they just kind of skimmed through it. And Riot have said he should be like a juggernaut, like a top laner, like Darius and stuff, which I'm sure he'll be really good at. But I think actually he kind of fits the criteria for a really good low-level AD carry at the very same time. So we're going to go over that very quickly. Just as a reminder, we're doing giveaways this entire week. So to enter, just leave a comment down below, like the video if you want to. Also, make sure you're checking your emails and stuff, because I've been emailing the winners after 2 days after the video hits, if that makes sense. Anyway, so let's get into this very quickly. So why is it actually going to be a good AD? First thing, very first, we actually want to watch this video, which is some of the gameplay that people haven't necessarily looked at very much already. And another thing is, if I just go on champion.gg very quickly to show you, this is obviously in bronze, you can see at the top right there, Misfortune is the #1 AD carry you can play in bronze at the moment if you want to climb. And part of that is because she's very simple, she's very effective, and she does a lot of damage, but she can stay very safe. And I think URGOT, with his new rework, is going to fill the same kind of criteria, right? So if we look at this very start, he lands his ultimate onto the enemy Ezreal or Tristana, I'm not sure. He then uses E to charge into the Jarvan and flip him backwards. So you've already got like 2 kills here. Well, I guess he's in the Guardian Angel. Look how tanky he is at the moment, though. That's like 3,000. These little marks are 1,000 health. So he's got like almost 3,000 health at the moment. But you can see how much damage he's actually doing while staying that tanky, if that makes sense. And really, he's not actually attack moving at all in this entire fight. He's activating his W, his lock-ons, and then he's going for his W afterwards, so he does it all himself. So we'll have a look at his abilities very quickly, because this is kind of why, I think. So you can see basically these little legs on him, when they are kind of the golden versions, if you stand and auto-attack somebody in line with it, it does bonus damage. It actually does a lot of damage. You can see at the end here, like the first one takes a massive chunk off, and then afterwards it's just auto-attacks, right? So really, you need to be using those passive ones. But a big thing is it shreds tanks. Like, we're ruining this Vi, got almost 2,000 health. So that's a good sign already that this could be a good AD carry for late game for actually doing a decent amount of damage. So the Q is going to fire this at the target, do damage, but obviously it also locks onto a champion. And then if they... with the lock-on feature, actually I'll explain now with the W. So with this, you're going to have a shield, which you're going to see on yourself already, and you're going to now be running around with this big circle and attacking the closest target to start with, just automatically attacking. You don't even have to do anything anyway, it just constantly attacks for you. And if you are locked onto somebody, then you're going to be attacking that target instead. And obviously if you walk around, you see these little icons at the top. It makes it very easy to show where your legs are for the extra shotgun damage, if that makes sense. You can see here, it's actually attacking the Vi and not the minion. So all you have to do is hit your Q or your E, because of this one, you charge in a direction. If you hit onto a champion, then you flip them over and you lock onto them as well. So like, you hit your Q or your E on an enemy champion, right? And then all you have to do is press your W, and that is going to do persistent damage to them. It's going to fire your shotguns off. And so all you have to do in a team fight, actually wait, let me just explain your like ultimate, but all you have to do in a team fight is that press your W basically, which is why it's so good. So you can use this to slow people. It's going to do some damage to start with, I guess. It also locks onto them, so you should be able to use your W like that. But if they are low health, below a threshold, then you're going to pull them in as well. So just going over this very quickly, first of all, with the ultimate, we have a way to deal with the tank in the front line, right? And it improves our time of dealing with the tank, because you're going to be attacking this person, then you fire out the hook thing, you reel them in, and then you have an execute on a tank, which is so good, right? It actually says here, where is it? It's the health threshold. So if they fall below a health threshold, now this could mean two things. So one, it could mean a flat amount of health. It could mean like 500 or 1,000 health. But what it most likely is going to mean, because that number-wise is really hard to tell, so Riot never do it. They normally do a percentage, so it'll be 20% of their health or 40% of their health, for example, right? And what most likely is going to, that is what most likely will happen, I think, will be the percentage. And if that is true, then obviously when you're going on a tank, like 20% of their health, you can still execute them on that number, which will be higher than like an AD carry or something. So actually we have a really, really good way to shred tanks already, partly with our passive as well, because as you could see in the first clip, it actually does a lot of damage. But now we have our Q. So one of the things with AD carries, right, is if you are not that good an AD carry, you want to be tanky. URGOT is going to build relatively tanky anyway. Like, he's going to build kind of bruisery, black cleaver, and stuff like that. He might throw in some lethality in there as well, but he'll probably be a hybrid mix of health, a lot of health probably, and a lot of damage at the same time, which is going to be really good for us because we're still going to do damage, but we're not going to die as fast, right? And also, you then want him to be easy to play, and attack moving is probably one of the hardest things in a team fight because you're trying to move around all the time and you're trying to attack at the same time. Well, URGOT doesn't have that issue. He has his W. You lock on and then you literally move around, and you see these little like orange icons, orange crystals, I guess, around the circle. That is where your shotgun shells are. So all you have to do is walk around the target and line up those crystals with the person, and then it's going to automatically fire off this extra damage for you. That is most likely going to be his main damage source, honestly. Like, his Q doesn't really offer that much, his E isn't going to offer very much, but it does offer mobility, which is cool. So you can charge into somebody and you can actually flip them around. So if somebody is diving onto you, or you want to like cause a fight, I guess, you have two forms of crowd control in your kit. You have this dive in and flip, which is going to be really good, but you also have your ultimate fear as well if you manage to execute somebody. So really, like, in my head, right, Miss Fortune is so good at bronze right now, and she has been this entire season because she's high damage, but she just is really safe. She stays right at the back of the fight and uses her ultimate. She's very easy to play, and you don't have to attack move on her, and that's one of the biggest things. Like, you can do a really good job without attack moving. Because of his W, because of URGOT's W, you don't have to attack move. You literally press it and the game does it for you. All you have to do is move around, and that is it. Like, you have to move. You don't have to attack. So attack moving is out of the way. You have a shield. You're going to build tanky, so you're going to be hard to kill anyway. If you mess up on URGOT, it doesn't really matter because you are going to be this tanky, like, kind of menace, I guess, to deal with. So same as like URGOT now, in a way, like, if you get caught, is a good AD to play because you don't die straight away, right? So all of these things that I think go around like are good for like a bronze AD, or kind of like hold bronze ADs back when they try and play like a Lucian or a Caitlyn, for example, that get caught and then they just die and stuff, or they have a bit of trouble like team fighting and actually like peeling for themselves and stuff like that. URGOT does all of that himself. You don't need anybody to help you really to manage to do that. So this is kind of a rundown of his abilities anyway. Obviously, I think he will be mainly a top laner, but I think it'd actually be a really good bronze AD carry, or like a lower ranked AD carry, while you're learning the role, while you're still not sure about how it works and stuff, and while you're learning to attack move. Obviously, you're going to have to auto-attack a little bit, but the game is going to do a lot of it for yourself. So it seems like he is just going to be the perfect answer if you can't really play the role, but you want to anyway, and you want to get some easy wins, I guess, because you'll be doing a lot of damage, but you won't necessarily be having to do that much for it, if that makes sense. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the quick rundown of the new URGOT. Let me know what you think about my idea in the comments, whether you think he actually is going to be an AD or not. And yeah, I'll catch you in tomorrow's video.